Hey guys, my name is Mukesh Ahuja and we were studying energy conservation and management. So in this subject we were seeing the last chapter, that is climate change. So in that we have seen various topics like Bijli, it is Bachat Lamp Yojana, that is BLY. Then we have seen UNFCC, United Nations Framework for Climate Change, and COP Conference of Parties various. So today we are going to see Prototype Carbon Fund, that is PCF. So as the name suggests, that is fund to reduce the carbon. So climate change and accompanying disrupted weather patterns. So you must have seen that uh, due to climate change, various natural calamities are occurring on on various on very high frequency. Means the occurrence of the natural calamities are increasing day by day. Whether it is tsunami, whether it is this COVID-19, or whether it is some kind of tornado, earthquake, or etc. So day by day, the climate calamities are occurring very much. So this is caused by greenhouse effect through atmospheric loading of greenhouse gases. So carbon dioxide, methane, etc. So this this carbon dioxide could wreak havoc on the planet, particularly large parts of the developing world. So the cost effective reduction of greenhouse gas emission to avert the most severe impacts of climate change remains one of the widely accepted priorities for global action. So few theories are there that how climate change can affect various calamities. So let's discuss first the few diseases, that how new diseases can be occurred due to climate change. So it may be possible that various various viruses may be stored or may be freezed in the Antarctica in the ice from millions of years. But due to melting of that ice, that virus may come to the ecology of humans. So and that may also can cause havoc. And similarly, various theories are for other calamities. So recognizing that climate change will have most impact on its borrowing client countries. So on July 20th, it is 20th July 1999, the executive directors of the World Bank, approved establishment of PCF, that is Prototype Carbon Fund. So the PCF, with the operational objective of combining climate change appraisals to promote the bank's tenet of sustainable development, demonstrate the possibility of public-private partnership and offer a learning by doing an opportunity to its stakeholders. So what is PCF operations? So we'll see operations. So the PCF will pilot production of emission reductions within the framework of joint implementation. So with the framework of joint implementation, it will try to reduce the emission of the carbon, and with also with the help of CDM, that is clean development mechanism. So PCF will invest contributions made by companies and government. So this PCF will invest in the contributions which are made by the companies and government in project to reduce or design produce emission reductions fully consistent with the Kyoto Protocol. So, according to Kyoto Protocol, if any company and government or jointly they do some projects which can reduce the emission according to Kyoto Protocol and the emerging framework for GI joint implementation and the CDM contributors or participants, whatever you want to call it, contributors or participants in the PCF will receive a pro pro rata share pro rata share of the emission reductions verified and certified in accordance with agreements reached with the respective countries hosting the projects. So, so the participants will receive a share of the emission reductions verified and certified in accordance with the agreements reached with the respective countries hosting the projects. So by certifying and agreements. So now what are the strategic objectives of PCF? So we'll see strategic objectives of PCF. So what are the strategic objectives? So from its inception, the PCF has followed three strategic objectives. So we will discuss that. First is high quality emission reduction. High quality emission reduction. So to show how project based greenhouse gas emission reduction transactions can promote and contribute to sustainable development. So what does this mean? So this means that the objective of the PCF is to show that how project based greenhouse gas emissions, that if there is a project where greenhouse gas emission reduction can be possible and transactions can promote and contribute to sustainable development and lower the cost of compliance with Kyoto Protocol. So it can also lower the cost of the compliance. The second objective is knowledge dissemination. Knowledge dissemination. So what is knowledge dissemination? So to provide the parties to the United Nations framework for climate change, the private sector and the other interested parties with opportunity to learn by doing in the development of policies, rules and business processes for the achievement of emission reductions under CDM and GI. So what its objective is that whatever the private sector or the party interested, they have an opportunity to learn by doing, that while you do you can learn. So in the development of policies, rules and businesses processes for the achievement of emission reductions under CDM and GI. The third is public private partnership, that is PPP, that is triple P more. So to demonstrate how World Bank can work in partnership with public and private sectors to mobilize new resources for its borrowing members countries while addressing global environmental problems through market based mechanisms. So that is its objective, to show the world that World Bank can work with both public and private parties and get new resources for its borrowing member countries, also while addressing the environmental problem that is global through the market based mechanisms, whatever the mechanisms are available in the market. So these are the three objectives of the PCF, that is prototype carbon fund. Now we'll see what is the commitment of the PCF fund. That is what is its goal. So its goal is to committed to reduce carbon, committed to reduce carbon. So companies can supplement their commitments at home by purchasing potentially lower cost emission reductions in developing countries and countries with economies in transition. As a result, projects in these countries will get a new source of financing for sustainable development in the energy. So, what they say that companies can supplement their commitments at home by purchasing low cost emission reductions, low cost emission reduction in developing countries and countries with economies in transition. So and the countries with economy transition, so these countries also has to use low cost emission reduction. So as a result, the projects in these countries will get a new source for financing for sustainable development in the energy. So they will get a new source of financing. So while they are applying, while they are doing this, so they will get money. So this will add a new source of financing for sustainable development in energy, industrial and waste management sectors, land rehabilitation and in introduction of clean and renewable energy. So this will help in getting finance also. Then second point is that industrialized countries, so the countries which are industrialized, it is developed, can meet the part of Kyoto obligation while the threat of climate change is reduced at a lower overall cost. So PCF was created as a response to the need to understand and test the procedures for creating a market in project based emission reduction under the Kyoto Protocol's flexible mechanism. So, what it's saying is that the developed countries can meet the obligation of the Kyoto Protocol while the threat of climate change is reduced at a lower overall cost. So, this will reduce the overall cost when the developed countries will meet the obligation. And the PCF was created as a response to need to the need to understand and test the procedures for creating a market in the project based emission reduction. So there was a need so to understand the procedures and emission reductions, so under Kyoto protocol's flexible mechanism. So this was the second point. Now the third and the last point is that PCF PCF has played a pioneering role in developing the market for greenhouse gas emission reduction. So it has created a market while promoting sustainable development and offering a learning by doing opportunity to its stakeholders, and paved the way for additional carbon funds established by the World Bank. So, what has PCF done? So, first, it has developed the market. So, it has developed the market for greenhouse gas reduction. Also, it has promoted the sustainable development. So, sustainable development promotion. So, it has promoted the sustainable development and offering a learning by doing opportunity to its stakeholders. So it is also offering a learning by doing opportunity to its stakeholders. So and has paved the way for additional. It also has paved the way for additional. It is additional funds established by the World Bank. So additional funds it has generated and can get from the World Bank. It has made the way. So this is the PCF, that is Prototype Carbon Fund. So I hope you understood the PCF, this Prototype Carbon Fund, and this was the last topic of this chapter. So thank you very much.